Yeah, my friends, good morning. We're here for another video on the Paparazzo Rubro Negro channel, also reacting to some situations here. Man, I'm seeing the advisor from Palmeiras. You know who he is, the one who argued a lot with Flamengo about the Libra situation, and now it led to nothing. It led to nothing. He criticized. And in the Paulista Championship itself, the president of his club didn't fight for the smaller clubs in the Paulista Championship to get more. It was just the measly 40,000 reais while Palmeiras was making millions. And now he comes and says that BAP wants an easy life. It's unbelievable. Yeah. He says that if you want an easy life, you have to play in a tournament that's not the Libertadores. It's unbelievable. Yeah. Então, man, I get his comment implying that Cruzeiro got a tougher group. Boca, who has even eliminated Cruzeiro and all that. Corinthians got a tough group. I agree. They got a tough group. Trying to justify that Palmeiras, man, look, got an easy group. Junior Barranquilla is a somewhat tricky opponent, but they got an easy group. Flamengo's group is really tough, yes. He came to try to justify that the team there, Estudiantes de La Plata, lost their coach, lost players to Brazilian clubs. It's not the same anymore. He also tried to use the Casco team's altitude as an excuse, but it's nothing special either. Then, obviously, Independiente Medellin is a bit strong now, always criticizing BAP, right, man? It's impressive. Always criticizing BAP. And Leila Pereira herself, too, who we're going to talk about here, mentioning Flamengo influencers, mention of BAP, mention of Flamengo fans. But she forgets that the guys there who are with her at Palmeiras actually do worse, right? They do much worse, right? And she herself says she doesn't complain. We'll talk about it here. I want to get straight to the point. Hey guys, greetings, red and black fans. This is Flamengo. Welcome to the Paparazzo Rubro Negro channel. If you're joining us, I invite you to follow, like, and share. On all platforms, if you're on YouTube, I invite you to subscribe down below, turn on notifications, hit the bell, and leave a like on the video. We're here thanks to the support of Caravana do Haroldo. You can already start planning your trips. Look, you can plan to watch Flamengo's games at Maracanã with tickets included in Caravana do Haroldo, the Libertadores games, group stage with amazing hospitality. You can right now call them and book the Libertadores games, and you can also already book the games against Estudiantes de La Plata in Argentina. You can book against Independiente Medellin in Colombia, and you can book in Cusco, and I'll give you a tip. When you book Cusco, ask them to add a few more days, about 3 or 4 extra days, so you can go to Aguascalientes. Why? Aguascalientes, you'll take a train, right, Otinho? You'll take a train and go, man, I've done this trip before, it's spectacular. And you'll go to Machu Picchu to see the ruins of Machu Picchu. It's spectacular. Stories connected to aliens, to ancient civilizations that had contact with extraterrestrial beings. For those who like it, it's spectacular. These are amazing tours. You stay in a hotel and then take a bus up to Machu Picchu. Man, you do the whole trip by train starting from Cusco. It's spectacular. It's one of the best trips on the planet. It's an experience. Like for me, man, for me it was fantastic. I want to do it again with my wife. And I actually went to see Flamengo and Cienciano. Flamengo beat Cienciano 3-0. I want to congratulate the Red Black Nation, who started like the Brazilian Championship, ended like the Carioca. They didn't have that much like drive, you know? I'm telling you, the Carioca Championship doesn't really motivate the fans that much, you know? Even though it was for the 3rd championship and all, but it was worth it. Flamengo became champions. But when it comes to the Brazilian Championship and the Libertadores, the fans switch gears. And yesterday we had almost 63,000 people at Maracanã. It's spectacular, isn't it? Flamengo there, 63,000 people. It's really good, okay? Really good. We can, count on the fans, Flamengo's fans, making Mango's match day happen, right? It's really important for Flamengo to always pull off a match day with an incredible box office revenue That's it. Flamengo's fans are directly responsible for the club's signings. Look, Leila said that they don't complain about refereeing, right? And there was a lot of whining, an absurd amount of whining in the game where Palmeiras was eliminated. Palmeirinha was eliminated. There's Palmeiras and there's Palmeirinha, right? Yeah. There's Flamengo and Malvadinho, right? Malvadinho is in the U20 Libertadores final. They beat Olimpia. We got Olimpia. That's right. And Vasco is also going to face Olimpia in the Sudamericana. There was whining there too in the Palmeiras game against Santiago Wanderers. Santiago Wanderers came from behind to beat Palmeiras. Palmeiras had 3 players sent off, but 2 of them were right at the end, right? And then they cried a lot. They claimed a penalty that simply didn't exist. They think that every game is going to have a penalty called for Palmeiras. It's unbelievable. Now they think that every game is going to have a penalty called for Palmeiras, right? And then we had Leila Pereira complaining, right? In an interview with GE. She was complaining that you'll never see the president of Palmeiras losing her cool. These men are very hysterical. You'll never see me complaining about refereeing. Why, Leila Pereira? Why is that? Because you're complaining about the hysterical men just to say it's us, that it's BAP, right? Then you talk about that they'll never see her talking, right? Look at that. She's making it clear, oh, never. Going to complain about refereeing, right? Leila Pereira, never, right? She'll never complain. Why? Tell me, you guys know why? Who complains for her? The Palmeiras assistant, Abel Ferreira, who has already complained again. He mentioned the game, knows São Paulo and Palmeiras are about to play, and then brought up 2025 again. 3rd press conference in a row where he complains about the refereeing, talking about the 2025 game, saying he would have preferred to lose. It's all there, guys. 3rd press conference in a row where they complain about the refereeing, and she has the audacity to say she doesn't complain. It's easy. She has someone to complain for her. And then unbelievable. Her interview just came out. There was Leila Pereira's interview. And the next minute, man, it was like that, man. It was right away. Last night, it came out. The Flamengo game ended. The Libertadores ended. She had her interview there and all with GE, right? And then Palmeiras under 20 was eliminated from the Libertadores. Under 20 Libertadores. And then Look. I didn't react. It's unacceptable. They don't complain. Palmeiras doesn't complain about refereeing, only through proper channels, okay? There it is. Palmeiras doesn't complain about referees, all right? Never, okay? That's because Palmeiras doesn't complain about refereeing, okay? Okay? I'm going to get you, huh? Thank you. Look, calling the referees cowards and all that. Film over there, film the referee over there. So all of this, yeah, this tantrum, right, that Leila Pereira talked about, she said these men are very hysterical. She accidentally discussed Palmeiras' under-20 team and Abel Ferreira, who have been complaining lately. Leila talked about BAP and Flamengo fans and company and tried to apply a kind of pressure saying that they're nice. They don't fight over refereeing, right? We all know how this method works, right? Praise, say you never complain, right? Say you don't complain, just talk. So the refereeing will go easier on Palmeiras. So my friends, she slipped up unintentionally, right? Criticizing Abel Ferreira and criticizing Palmeiras' timid under-20 team, which got eliminated from the under-20 Libertadores. It's unbelievable. Look at what she says, guys. Let's take a look at Leila's statement here because it's just absurd, man. She's praising the CBF, right? Enough. I think it's wrong praising the CBF, saying they're doing a great job when everyone at Palmeiras, except for her, is complaining. She herself might not complain, but everyone else there is complaining, right? I'm not going to keep blowing something out of proportion. Completely irrelevant, guys. When Palmeiras is going to play, the last thing I want to know is who's going to be the referee. I'm not worried about that.
The stars are the athletes.
She isn't worried. The athletes are the stars. The shows we put on are the players. We have to stop that. Now look at what she says. I'm absolutely sure that the referee does what he can. And I'm also sure that the CBF is trying to improve refereeing more and more every day. I'm not worried about that. You'll never see the president of Palmeiras losing her cool, having those hysterical outbursts. These men are very hysterical, which is here on GE. You won't hear me complain about refereeing.
These men are so hysterical, yet they claim we're the hysterical ones, but it's really them.
Really? I never complain. They're hysterical.
No.
You won't hear me complain because only the hysterical ones do, right? You ask them to complain. So it's different, right? The CBF, if it's about the Libertadores.
We came to CONMEBOL. This is how we do things, and we'll continue.
So she doesn't complain, but she asked the hysterical ones to complain. Leila Pereira asked the hysterical ones to complain. That's it, right, my friends? It's unbelievable. Look, I'm going to bring you an interesting opinion about the BAP issue. Listen to what BAP said. I'm going to react here with you guys about the Libertadores. And then I'll bring Zona Mista because Luis Araujo also said that Flamengo is more qualified. He talked about the tough group issue. We also had Emerson Royal speaking and Flamengo's coach Leonardo Jardim also talking about this tough group that Flamengo got. We have here Flamengo's players from yesterday's important 3-0 victory getting a higher rating. Look at that SOFA score. Samuel Lino going up to 8.3, Luis Araujo 9.2, Leo Ortiz 9.4. So those are the ratings for Flamengo's players.
Subindo drasticamente.
Drastically. It's really important for us to see Flamengo's players improving. And I'll tell you something, okay? In this setup, look, see here? Look at this. Look at this rating here. All blue ratings. Samuel Lino has grown a lot. Luis Araujo came back in the second half, fantastic. He was so-so in the first half, came back fantastic in the second half. And Leo Ortiz, great game from Leo Ortiz, 9.4. It's important for us to mention here that Flamengo, the wingers at Flamengo, that's what I'm talking about. Luis Araujo, Samuel Lino, Cebolinha, they're going to have a great year. And Bruno Henrique, when he comes back too, since he's recovering from an injury, they're all going to have a fantastic year. They're going to score a lot of goals. Yesterday, we already had Luis Araujo and Samuel Lino. They're going to score a lot of goals. If Bruno Henrique is 100% physically, he's going to score 30 goals this season. Because this system from Leonardo Jardim, this 4-4-2 from Leonardo Jardim that values the wingers is spectacular. What do you think? What are your thoughts on Leonardo Jardim's system? Do you like it and see his influence already? Go ahead. Let's check out what BAP said on ESPN. Let's see here.
I got the whole damn thing, right? Actually, I got the altitude.
He said I walked the whole way, right?
Wow, that's what I said. I got the whole thing, right?
Is that true?
I got the altitude. I got the distance. There's no point in making projections. Making projections is pointless. We just stay here. It's an anxiety thing. We keep making projections. And of course, everyone thinks and dreams about what they think is best. That's reality. We must face it. It's part of life, and we have to dive in. The list I mentioned.
I got the damn thing, right? I got the whole damn thing. That's it. BAP saying that Flamengo got everything, got the altitude, got the distance, got Argentinians. Flamengo's group has all the tough stuff. And that's it, right? Let's go all in, belief. I wanted to bring you now some excerpts from Leonardo Jardim's press conference, mixed zone after Flamengo's 3-0 win over Remo. We can get even closer to the top or even reach the top this weekend. It's tough since São Paulo plays Palmeiras, meaning one will gain points. But we'll get really close to the top with one game in hand, right? I'll also leave this jacket here. You've already seen it's on YouTube Shopping. You have all the products. You really help Flamengo by buying products from YouTube Shopping and Shopee. Why? They're official products you buy here and help Flamengo. Flamengo also gets royalties. It helps the Paparazzo Rubro Negro channel. Man, follow us, subscribe, share, help us out, man, from the heart, help us out. Now let's go to the behind the scenes of Mengo's victory with the press conference and mixed zone.
So did you like it? Let's see. In the end, we'll say whether we liked it or not, right? Seems like a tough group, right? Let's go.
With annoying travel?
Altitude. Altitude. That's the main thing. But let's see. We're here to win everything. Thank you. Have a good...
Regardless of the teams in our group, we have the responsibility to qualify. Honestly, if you ask me if I already know the teams, I don't. I haven't seen anything yet because the draw was today. They're also not teams that I have a great affinity with or can talk about. So at this moment, I still don't have anything to say about the opponents, only our responsibility to qualify. Regarding the time, we will now have to work, especially those players who are not going to the national team. They are the ones who will stay with us and will have a bit more work. But in strategic terms, even with just a few days, we have worked a lot. The players have shown a great attitude. Tomorrow morning, we'll be at the training center to resume training. And with the collaboration of all the Flamengo staff, we have managed to turn the little time we have into a lot of work.
Still talking about Flamengo's group in the Libertadores, I was doing a quick search here and I even asked you to correct me if I'm wrong. But from what I found, you've only managed one game at altitude in continental competitions, the Cruzeiro match against Muxukruna from Ecuador last year. I wanted to know what your experience was like, being on the sidelines in a game at altitude and how you analyze playing at an even higher altitude like in Cusco, which is higher than where you were last year. Cruzeiro versus Muxukruna. Thank you.
My feeling in that game was that the ball, because of the air, becomes much faster. And many times these teams play a much more direct game and a game that is very focused on duels. And we have to put the ball on the ground and try to play according to our DNA with responsibility. And in the defensive phase, we have to pay attention. There are situations they can create, especially shots from outside the box, set pieces, all of that. Because the ball moves faster, we need even greater attention and concentration.
Good evening, Luis.
Good evening, it's good to be here.
Your first 90 minutes with Leonardo Jardim scoring a goal. How has this preparation been? How are you feeling at the start of the season, especially with the new coach?
I'm feeling really good. I wasn't getting that many minutes, but I never stopped working. The fewer minutes I had, the harder I worked, the more I trained hard to show him that I needed minutes, that I deserved it. And today he gave me this opportunity, and I believe I embraced it. I'm very happy to score again and provide an assist, but the most important thing is that Flamengo got these 3 points, which was very important for us today.
Luis, still talking a bit about Leonardo Jardim when he was at Cruzeiro, it was his wish to work with you. I wanted to know how this start of working together has been, what he has been telling you, and if his arrival here gives you more motivation to fight for a spot and get more minutes as a starter at Flamengo.
I was very happy with his arrival. He is a coach who liked me. He wanted me there at Cruzeiro, but here it's a different team. Flamengo has more quality players than Cruzeiro had. But I am doing very well prepared. I think he has been demanding a lot. He keeps encouraging me to train more and to work harder so that I can earn my minutes. And I think I deserve these minutes in training, and he gave me this opportunity. I'm very happy to not only have the opportunity, but also to be able to make the most of it, to come in and feel good physically, to connect well with the forwards, and to be able to score. So I think that's the main thing, to be prepared so that when the opportunity comes, I can seize it like I did today.
Luis, there's no way not to talk about the Libertadores draw. Flamengo, as the current champion, got Estudiantes. Flamengo had some difficulties in the last Libertadores. There's also the altitude and Independiente Medellin. I wanted you to talk about this draw, from your perspective, how it turned out.
I think every Libertadores match is tough. It's not for nothing that it's the biggest competition for us. Every player dreams of winning it. Last year I achieved my dream by winning this competition in the Flamengo jersey. and we're going to give 100%. We're going to give everything to win another title. We know it's a very tough group, just like last year. We had to deal with the altitude against LDU. We'll prepare well so we're ready for the Libertadores games and, God willing, celebrate the title at the end.
How are you? Good evening.
Good evening.
Another game with a clean sheet. I wanted you to talk to us about this moment for Flamengo's defense now with Leonardo Jardim. Since he arrived, Flamengo hasn't conceded any goals. What can you tell us about Leonardo Jardim's arrival and this defensive system of Flamengo?
Yes, we've been working on it. That defensive part was something that was bothering us a bit. We had conceded some goals. And that was one of the things he told us, that we had to reduce the number of goals conceded and try to go as many games as possible without conceding goals. And we've been doing that. We've been working together defensively. You can see that we dropped the block there. Everyone is helping to defend, the forwards, the striker, the midfielder. And that's very important. We often discuss defense as if it's only the back four and two defensive midfielders. But everyone is important in this phase. So I believe it's to his credit as well. But I believe it's also about the team and the effort we've been putting in.
Goyao, right after Flamengo's first goal by Leo Ortiz, Leonardo Jardim called you over to the side and gave you some instructions in a style that really reminded us of Jorge Jesus. What did he say to you at that moment?
No, I can talk. He was adjusting our positioning because our strategy was for me to be closer to Luis Araujo, to play a 1-2 with him, or find Pedro inside. And many times I was staying far away because sometimes he would already make a move into space and I didn't have many options, and he was just telling me that. To keep trying the 1-2 because I had just made a play with Arrascaeta on the end line. It was just to keep trying that play, that's all.
Was your substitution just a precaution, or was it really because of an injury?
No, it wasn't an injury. I was already feeling some discomfort. I felt it during a Carioca match, a bit in the hamstring. And today I felt it a bit too, but I believe it was just a bit of cramp. I couldn't really figure out what it was, so I preferred to come off to avoid any risk, but I'm fine. I was evaluated there in the locker room. There's nothing serious. And I'm already ready to go for the next one.
Regarding the defense, as I already said, only intelligent and capable players can understand when we give some feedback in terms of organization. That's what happened during this time. We worked on some situations, not excessively, but in terms of organization specific to certain moments. They understood well, so I believe we are a bit more compact. Although today in the first half I didn't like 2 or 3 counterattacks, and we managed to fix that during halftime. Regarding these 3 players, Leo, I think it's his first time. I'm very happy for him because he's a player who has performed very well in recent years here at Flamengo. And the other 2 are historic players, both with a lot of international experience, whether in terms of the national team or clubs, both Danilo and Alex. And for sure, in a competition like this, the coach also wants to have players with this kind of international experience and the ability to manage different situations on his side. Of course, it's a responsibility, and for me, representing Flamengo comes with the obligation to play to win, because Flamengo always plays to win every competition. Motivated. Because as you said, in Europe, I already have some Champions League games, and in Asia, I also have some Champions League games. That's why this is going to be my South American Champions League. And that's why I believe it's an experience to enjoy and to show the best version of Flamengo and ourselves.